Whenever on this show we've covered child abuse, it's always disturbing, but you're never going to believe what one mother did. An Oklahoma mother has been charged with forcing her 3- and 5-year-olds to eat dog feces. And get this, she did not serve time for that crime. The mom pled no contest to charges of child neglect, given 2 7-year suspended prison sentences. And the eldest actually told the Department of Human Services graphic details of how she'd been made to eat the dog feces. And it's just a really disturbing scenario. And I think one of the reasons we're sharing this story is A, the medical angle, but also why would a mother do this? And then why is the mother not in at least jail for a certain period of time for doing something that she knew could have caused severe harm to her kids? Join us to discuss psychotherapist Dr. Mike Dow, who's in our audience. And then on the phone, we have criminal defense attorney Lou Shapiro. Lou, first things first, the emotional component of this would have you asking, why is the mother not serving some time for this gross action?
Well, it's one of two reasons. Number one, it could be just for mental health reasons, because no mother in their right mind would intentionally serve their children dog feces. So the argument must be that if, in fact, this is true, that this person is just not have their mental faculties, and with rehabilitation and treatment, she could get better one day. So that could be one reason why there was compassion shown to her in that sense. Second, for an entire different reason, is factual weaknesses in the prosecution's case. The only evidence we really have of dog feces being fed to the children is one of the children's statements to the Department of Child and Family Services worker who's 5 years old. But the science really doesn't back up the fact that there were pinworms in the stool of the children. That can only be contracted from human-to-human interaction, not from dogs. So the circumstantial evidence doesn't really jive with the science, and that could be the reason also why she didn't go to prison on this.
And Lou, the other issue is, I mean, the one child is giving her statement, but no one actually saw the mother do this, correct?
Exactly. That's why we're talking about circumstantial evidence. Direct evidence would be a witness saying, I saw the mother feed the children dog feces. And that just doesn't happen in this. That's not present in this case.
Can you legally, when you put this case together, and apparently the mom was charged earlier this year when the kids were in the hospital for severe malnutrition, there are many other elements of this story that are very concerning for abuse. So it's not as though this was an isolated incident of, oh, mom fed me dog feces. It seems like a pattern of abusive behavior. So getting back to the law, when you put all of this together, and I know the kids are now in state custody, I believe, so they have removed the mother, or removed the kids from the mother. But with that pattern of abuse or neglect, whatever term you want to use, is it really that the state thinks, or that maybe the mom could be rehabilitated? Because when I dug deeper in this story, there were many other elements between the mother and her boyfriend that things these kids were exposed to that could ruin them for life.
Right, and that's why the likely reason for how she avoided prison is probably the second one, which is just that there was no direct evidence of this, and a 5-year-old saying something like this happened, that does not carry as much weight as an adult or teenager telling a social worker, this is what happened. And let's add to the fact that she has been in custody for 5 months about. So it's not like she hasn't done any time on this. That also plays into the outcome here.
Do you think that she could regain custody of these children at some point in the future?
Well, the whole premise of the dependency system is to reunite children with their parents at some point down the road, obviously always acting in the best interest of the children, because it costs money for the government to pay another family, to house children that aren't theirs. So that's always going to be the goal for that reason alone by the government. So in this particular instance, it's not happening tomorrow. It's probably not happening next year, but probably at some point down the line with rehabilitation, if it can be proven to a judge that this woman has turned her life around, there could be unification down the road.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that she could be prosecuted just on the simple fact of the kids' weights being so low, so severely malnourished, even if you can't prove feeding them feces, that in itself, she's not a competent person to care for her kids.